Hey, yo, what's going on? so, this is my official video where I'm speaking in front of the camera, and so it's I gotta say it's a little awkward, but and I only have a few subscribers, but that's fine as long as I kind of reach out to at least one person. That's all that matters. But I'm making this video because I wanted to be completely transparent and honest with you and just let you know that I've been on TRT for the last 3.5 years. And for those who don't know what it is, it's testosterone replacement therapy. And I get it prescribed by my doctor, and I take a very, I was taking a higher dose, but then over the years I've dropped it down. And I've been off for maybe about a month now. And so it's been interesting to say the least. And I'm making this video because I want to share with you that I want to share my journey with me getting off TRT. I'm 46, about to be 47, and I thought it was interesting because I don't find many guys my age who get off and document it and say, "All right, this is this." I want people to watch my decline, um, or I want people to watch me kind of overcome this challenge. And there's so many reasons why I'm getting off. But I thought about it. Especially when I was making workout videos. I'm like, I'm making these workout videos, and is that really me? You know, um, and I feel like if I'm, people who are watching my videos or my few subscribers, are these people on TRT? Maybe they're not, and maybe they're being misled, and I don't think that's fair. That's one of the reasons, right? And I think what also too is I don't really want to be on TRT for the rest of my life. Um, I want to see if I could. In fact, uh, I really didn't need TRT in the first place, to be honest with you. When I took, in my early 40s, when I took my blood test, it was pretty good. I was sitting at like 600, especially for my age, and I was fine with that. And I was still working out. I was still active, but there's so many reasons too, man. Um, my fitness journey changed, and the way I viewed fitness completely changed when I started TRT. Before I started TRT, I was working out just like I was before, and I was so into mobility, and I was always into jujitsu, which I still am. And I've been training jujitsu for maybe 15 years. And when I jumped on TRT, I went from doing mobility workouts and jujitsu was something it was just so fun for me, that fit my lifestyle and complemented my lifestyle. I wasn't so much into aesthetics or the way I looked. It was more like how well I can move, and how that complemented my purpose in life, and how it complemented just moving around with my kids, helping my wife carry the groceries, all that stuff, right? So when I started taking TRT, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It was a complete game changer. It was something that I was not used to, you know. And there was a lot of friends that I had in my circle, in my close group, that were on testosterone replacement therapy. But for the most part, those guys were always like bigger, right? They had more muscles. They always kind of looked a particular way, like just naturally. Where me, I'm a smaller guy, I have a small frame, so I always thought like, okay, well, they they could achieve that on their own without TRT, right? So it didn't really it didn't like bother me, and it wasn't something I thought about until COVID happened, and one of my friends, who was kind of same size, maybe a little smaller than me, didn't have a lot of muscle on his frame, never worked out. And during COVID, I didn't see him for a period of maybe 3 or 4 months. And then when I ran into him again, man, he had put on like 30 pounds of muscle. This guy was just jacked. And I knew for a fact, oh, he's got to be on something. I could tell right away. So, and I kind of got interested. I was curious about it. So I was like, I hit him up and I was like, hey man, like, what's up, man? What do you want? I know you don't look like this naturally. And you could just tell, and he's like, yeah, he told me he was on TRT. And at that moment, I knew, well, if it works for him and that's the way he looks, and I want to look like that too. I was never like that, but for some reason, when I saw him, I just immediately just became interested in it. So I jumped on it, and I went from when I jumped on it, like I responded very well. I responded very well. I didn't have any issues. My energy levels went up the roof. All the stories that you hear about TRT is true, right? Um, and what happened was not only did my body change, but my mindset around fitness completely changed. And I went from being active and staying mobile and doing mobility workouts and training jujitsu to doing bicep curls in the mirror. And I didn't really, I just got so focused on the way I looked. So because for the first time in my life, I had like real muscles and I felt um, like buff, right? I had a chest, I had biceps. It's something that I never had before. And to be honest with you, I became extremely vain, you know, and I didn't realize it at the time. I was like, man, I'm getting jacked. My wife was complimenting me, and I had a six pack. And so I was getting attention, and and over time, I found myself kind of not training jujitsu, not doing mobility workouts until recently. I went back on it, but yeah, I was just doing traditional workouts, and I've never done that before. So, it was until recently where I was like, what am I doing? Is this really me? And then when I was posting videos and I was looking back, I go, man, am I misleading people? Right? I mean, especially if I want to help somebody get in shape, this is not really me, right? And so, I didn't really feel like it's my body. But so I decided to get off and then document my journey too of getting off so you guys can see the rise and you guys can see the fall, right? And so here I am. In the last video I posted was with me in a broken arm, and I'm sure you can kind of see the difference between my physique without TRT and with TRT. And to be completely honest with you, I'm completely comfortable with not being ripped or not having muscles as long as I can move, because now my purpose is back to where it was. I'm not so into the way. For me, it serves no purpose. I'm not dissing anybody that's on TRT. Like I said, it worked for me, and what it did is it opened my eyes to truly tell me, or to reveal to me, what I valued most, and that to me was movement. And to use fitness or to use exercise only to improve my purpose in life. Like I said, I just do enough, and I try to do something every day, and I focus on movement, something that'll translate to everyday life. Like I said, I want to be able to, I'm, I'll probably be a grandfather maybe in 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. Uh, but I want to be able to move with my grandkids. I want to be able to run around with them. I want to be able to bend over, pick them up, and be flexible, be mobile. Like I said, help my wife with the groceries. Help my wife do things around the house, lift heavy objects, and do stuff like that. So that's important. And the way I see fitness now is I want to train now. The way I train now is going to be the same way, hopefully, that I train at like 65, 70 years old, where I'm not doing too much, right? I'm not interested in deadlifting 500 pounds or benching 300 pounds. In fact, in the real world, when am I ever going to use that? Probably never, right? So I want to be able to work out where it translates to real life. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to continue to post workout videos, and then I think you guys are going to see me kind of like a roller coaster, up and down. Now my energy, as far as on TRT, and I'll post updates so you guys can see how I'm feeling. But it's kind of been a roller coaster for the most part. And I've lost a ton of weight. I've lost a ton of muscle. I've shrunk down, and I'm back to being a little twerp. But I don't care. I could still do a muscle up. I can still squat, and it hasn't been that bad. A lot of people make it out to be really, really bad. It's not that bad, especially for my age. My diet obviously is pretty good. I don't really have a diet. I eat whole foods. I fast every now and then, and that's it, you know. And I still enjoy my life, and I'm constantly moving. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm constantly moving my body. I'm out and about. I'm hanging out with friends, and and I really don't drink too much. Maybe special occasion. In my sleep, I make sure I get enough sleep. So, I've had a plan that, hey, you know, and I told myself before I I got off that, hey, I was going to experience, you know, mood swings or energy swings, and I'm completely fine with that. So I'm going to document that, take you guys along for the journey. If you guys have any questions or comments, whatever, post them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Until next time, God is good.